I went back to America after years of living in Japan, and what I saw simply shocked me. The richest nation with some of the richest cities in the world. But after living in Japan for the past several years, the difference is staggering. So that's why today I'm going to talk about the American issues I see that makes the nation a very unsafe place to be in my opinion, and give you a few reasons why so many Americans wouldn't choose to come back to America once they moved away.
So whether you're thinking about moving away or back, get yourself comfortable because there's a high chance that something in this video will make you question what you believe about America your whole life.
But we don't want this video to be all sad and gloomy. And frankly, there are a lot of things that make America the best nation ever. Even if you don't want to admit, okay? Americans are still some of the most friendly with the most awesome sense of humor. And life in America, well, it's capitalism at its best. If you get money, you get whatever you want. But with the living conditions and the cost of living being so high, so many decided to leave. I mean, I certainly did after my landlord doubled my rent for 1 bedroom in 2 years. How is that even legal? Well, it's America. The capital has all the power, y'all. But a lot of the problems weren't so obvious until I saw how Japan runs their society, how efficient they do things around, and how many stuff the media told us to be impossible in the US. Well, Japan already solved that decades ago.
And that's why I want to go over the 7 biggest shocks that I had coming back to America, and hopefully any of those can be solved for all of us before it's too late.
And number 7 is why America is so addicted to cars. Because it feels like an addiction. Most people my age literally owe money to the bank for the shiniest ride. One of my friends loves cars so much, his wife basically told him, "Why don't you go marry the car?" And that's especially shocking after you've been to a nation like Japan, with the most efficient public transit and a bunch of walkable cities. Bro, when I was little, they always told us, if you can drive, you're a grown man. If you can't, well, you're just kiddo, aren't you? With many hiring managers I know in the US admitting they would look at the car you drive as a factor in whether they should hire you or the next person in line. But here's the thing, okay? Nobody drives in Japan, well, some of them do. It's mostly for work, like people delivering stuff. But otherwise, the roads are so empty, bro. I live next to a massive road, and there's maybe like 8 people driving by each day. But how's that possible? Do they not leave the house at all? Well, trains and buses made it possible. Even in the suburbs, you'll find a train or a bus that goes there. Because the local government want to make sure anyone can make it in and out of their town without worrying about driving. Now, I know many states in America also have this, okay? In some parts of California, it's possible to go to work without a car. But once you leave the city, guess what? You can't go anywhere now. And I really think in a time where the cost of living is already so expensive, being forced into that because you ain't got no buses to take just doesn't sound right to any of us.
And they will always tell you, oh, it's crazy expensive to build trains because everything's so far away. But we all know if you all take buses, banks and the companies that make cars will lose a lot of money. And we can't let rich people lose their money in America, right?
But believe it or not, that is still stoppable. It's not too late. Just like hitting the subscribe button as hard as possible would make sure you get more videos you enjoy. Because at number 6, I want to talk about how chaotic and uncared for many of our cities are. How much people don't really care. And I mean, there's a general lack of care for the surrounding. You go out there, you know what I'm talking about, bro. So they always say Japan is clean because the people are polite. But I realize it's more in the sense of, if I throw away trash, someone else is gonna pick it up. And causing troubles for others in Japan is considered really, really bad. So once you get used to that, and you come back to the States, seeing trash on the floor, and then you notice, bro, the way we treat the public spaces is so sad.
This is a pretty common shock for anyone traveling outside of America for a few weeks or months, in places like Europe and Australia, New Zealand, etc. Getting used to how clean and modern the whole place is, and then coming back seeing how the public spaces in the US are treated completely differently. And y'all wonder to yourself like, who is doing all of this?
But you know what? Up to this point, the things I mentioned were somewhat agreeable, right? America is great, but we know it ain't perfect. But up next, it might upset some of you because at number 5, I think life in the US is getting more isolated. Bro, many even call this the worst place to have a social life. Now, we can argue that everyone feels different, and every state and city is different. But you gotta admit, there seems to be so much loneliness in America as compared to like in the 80s or 90s. But you know what? Japan is also the toughest to make friends. People work for too long, and after that, they just want to eat whatever and pass out. But so many foreigners I know in Japan still manage to make some of the best friends in their life. A few of them also got married in Japan. Gosh, those lucky bastards. Can you believe them? So if America is becoming a nation where you only have time to work and eat and sleep and nothing else, bro, I think you can get why so many Americans would rather move away to Australia or something. But at number 4, this is a funny one. But hear me out, bro. Because why is the toilet in America so janky? And why is there a massive gap in the bathroom stall? And do you think these ain't problems? Well, I used to believe that too, until you get your eyes on the futuristic, crazy sci-fi toilets with so many buttons in Japan. And this ain't just for like fancy hotels and rich people house, bro. Most public bathrooms I've been to in Japan, they look like a portal to the future, y'all. There's even a button for it to make like water sounds to cover up stuff. If you want to have some privacy, bro, they even have those thin toilet papers that melt in water or something, so you don't have to worry about plumbing and damaging the environment. Bro, how many years do we need to wait until they bring this into America as well?
In fact, Japanese bathroom is so famous that so many travelers I know even admitted that the only reason they wanted to visit Japan was to see it for themselves. And yes, that's not weird. Some people travel to see bathroom, oh my gosh.
Okay, let's calm down for a bit, because we are at the top 3 for this video, and things will only get crazier, I'm telling you. Because at number 3, bro, why can't we have vending machines like Japan? And why is it so difficult to get a drink at night? How many times do you wish there were a vending machine right next to you selling stuff as cheap as the supermarket when you need it? Well, Japan managed to solve that by putting vending machines all over the city. But man, it gets even better because they don't scam you. The price is pretty much the same as buying in the store. Bro, sometimes even cheaper. The design itself is also way more efficient. So this is your typical American vending machine with a button so massive. Bro, I sure hope I don't miss it or press the wrong one when it's already so big. And you don't really get a lot to pick from.
And you've probably seen enough of those videos where people live in Japan and only buy stuff from the vending machines. Well, that's because it's possible. It's probably bad for you, but it's possible. Whatever you're looking for, you can pretty much find one selling exactly what you want.
Okay guys, number 2 is here, and what is the second biggest shock for anyone coming back to America after so many years? And this applies to anywhere beyond Japan, bro. You can go to Europe, Southeast Asia, wherever in between, and we can all agree on this one thing, and that is America is too expensive for no reason. And this ain't just me complaining, I have data to prove this, y'all. Go look at the minimum wage and other places. There's a Wikipedia page if we want to do it real quick. And please tell me why is the minimum wage in America so low compared to so many places obviously with a way lower cost of living than us? And try to justify why can't Americans be paid as much? Both Australia and New Zealand pay their employees so much more, even double the pay, and bro, it doesn't cost that much to live there. So does anyone know if the companies are paying us nothing in America, then why is everything so expensive? The number doesn't add up, y'all. If Japan pays more than America, and you look at all the stuff I bought here for 20 bucks, bro, this is what 20 bucks in Japan can get you. Look, can we just say the system is broken and buying a cup of coffee or tea for $7 and having to pay $2 in tip just feels wrong on so many levels?
And let me give you some numbers here. In Japan, I almost never spend above $14 a day eating food and buying all the stuff. And the chicken McNuggets, they're selling 15 pieces for a little over $3, bro. I don't know when's the last time I saw them selling 20 pieces of McNuggets below $8 in America.
But none of that matters, okay? None of that matters because you wanna know why? The one thing you'll never ever get used to again after living away from America and then coming back is number 1, the tipping culture is completely out of hand. And to whoever still believes that customers should be the one paying the workers, for the wealthy business owner, well, they gotta pay them below minimum wage with no insurance and medical benefit, just hear me out, okay? In Japan or literally anywhere else, you never have to to tip, even in crazy fancy restaurants. Even when they're making your dinner the best time of your life, you don't tip nothing, bro. And here's the thing, ever since digital payment became a thing, the tips you pay now have to go through the boss, and they get to decide how much or how little they're willing to share with you. I have a friend working in a diner, and he outright said the amount of customers are paying in tips and the amount him and his colleagues are getting, bro, it's way less than half. So where does the rest of the tip money go to? And it all comes back to the core of this video. America is great, but it's not perfect. But I think the moment we become too full of ourselves to even look down on the rest of the world, refusing to learn what they're doing right, well, that just might be the downfall of everything.
But even Japan is not perfect, and I've never seen this many locals wanting to leave Japan for good. Because in this video, I go over how living in Japan has now become impossible, and why they're willing to go anywhere else. And you can click on the video to find out what it is.